Hey everyone, I'm Big John, and welcome to another episode of the Diz Ability Show. So, this week I want to talk to you about another frequent thing that we talk about here on the channel. Some easy access hotel tips. Now, because if you have someone in your party who has a scooter or doesn't feel comfortable riding a bus to certain places, it is a good idea to be at a hotel where you can easily have access to the parks. Unfortunately, Animal Kingdom doesn't have that yet. But for those who do, in the Magic Kingdom area, you can and the Contemporary, the Polynesian, and the Grand Floridian are either a walk or a monorail ride away from the Magic Kingdom. And if you're just a military family like we are, you can walk from Shades of Green to the Magic Kingdom. You can cross the road over to Polynesian. Yeah, why did the family cross the road to get to the Magic Kingdom? I had to make a note to recommend that. Anyway, also, you can also take a boat from Wilderness Lodge or for Wilderness to get to the Magic Kingdom. And if you go to Epcot, you switch monorails at the TTC. Now, for the Epcot areas, there is, of course, the Boardwalk and Yacht and Beach Clubs, the Swan and Dolphin. We've stayed at 3 out of the 5 of those, and they are just a 5 or 10 minute walk away from Epcot or Hollywood Studios. I think kind of the same length. I don't know. I don't really pace myself that much. And also, there are the resorts on the Skyliner that you can do that have easy access, like the Riviera, the Caribbean Beach, and Pop Century, and of course my favorite, Art of Animation. But remember, if you're going on a Skyliner or a bus or monorail, mask up. So if you have someone in your family that doesn't walk that much, has trouble with limited mobility, recommend staying at an easy accessible hotel. That way you can easily walk to 1 or 2 of the parks. So anyway, that's my tip. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions on how to do Disney for people with disabilities, and I'll make sure it gets into a future episode. Now it's time for this week's Top 5. So, I watch a lot of Disney Parks shows. Not surprising, because you all know I am a huge Disney fan. We are all huge Disney fans. That's what this channel, this community is all about. So this week, my top 5 Disney Parks shows. All right. Number 5, The Imagineering Story. Now, this is perhaps one of the reasons we got Disney Plus when it launched, because it is a behind-the-scenes in-depth of the creations of some of the greatest attractions ever, some behind-the-scenes stuff about the Imagineers and what inspired them to create the iconic attractions we all know and love. And it is one of the best documentary shows I've ever seen. I don't watch a lot of documentary shows, but this one is the best. But of course, it's also in a close race with number 4, Behind the Attraction. Now, this one is also one of my favorite Disney Plus shows because it goes in depth on behind the scenes and the history of, like, the Jungle Cruise and the Haunted Mansion, the monorails, the castles, and the hotels. And I've also heard that they are working on developing a second season for Behind the Attraction. I really hope that happens because it is a very good show. If you have Disney Plus, I recommend it. Number 3 is one that you've only seen if you've stayed at a Disney resort. Must do Disney. I miss that so much. I miss Stacy so much. I would watch it on repeat whenever I'm at a hotel. If my parents were down here doing this with me, they would completely agree. And I just miss it. And the resort loop that they show loop that they have going on right now, it's kind of bland. So I wish they bring Stacy back. I really do. Number 2, this one's going to get you right into childhood, folks. The Disney sing-along specials. Disneyland Fun and the Mickey's Fun Songs specials. Like Camp at Walt Disney World, Let's Go to the Circus, and Beach Party at Walt Disney World. Because they show the Mickey and kids and a bunch of kids enjoying the parks and other places and singing to some classic Disney songs. Some of them you might know, some of them a little obscure. But it is great series. I wish they made new versions of Disney sing-along songs for the new generation and put the old ones on Disney Plus where they belong. Speaking of things that belong on that should belong on Disney Plus, number 1 from the 90s and one that I've discovered a few years ago, Walt Disney World Inside Out. Now, this was before vlogging and live streams were a thing. This was a show where Brianne Leary, George Foreman, and J.D. Roth would go behind the scenes at both Disneyland and Walt Disney World and keep people up to date and show people how behind the scenes of attractions and how things were back in the 90s. And I really think they should reboot this show and possibly put the old ones on Disney Plus, because it is a great show. I hope, Disney, if you're watching, please make it happen. Please. So anyway, let me know in the comments what your favorite Disney Park show is. And now, it is time for round 2 of March Madness. So, as I've said, you can vote in the comments. If you're part of the Disney Vlog Squad or Disney Content Creators groups on Facebook, you can also vote there. Here are our round 2 matchups. First off, we have Dinosaur versus Star Wars Rise of the Resistance. Now, on one side you have... Now, this is perhaps the battle of the enhanced dark rides. You've got one where you're going back in time to save an iguanodon, and on the other side you're on a Star Destroyer trying to escape the First Order. Now I was really surprised last week when Dinosaur beat Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, so it's going to be very interesting to see if Dinosaur beats Rise in this one, but it's all up to you. Next up, we have Peter Pan's Flight versus Slinky Dog Dash. Now, on one side, you have perhaps the most crowding magic attraction in Fantasyland. And on the other side, you have a crazy coaster through Andy's backyard. Now, again, I was surprised that Slinky beat the new ride, Ratatouille. But like I said, it's up to you guys. Unless there's a tie. Alright, next we have Kilimanjaro Safari versus Spaceship Earth. Now, on one side you have a relaxing safari ride through the African savannas of Harambe. And on the other side you have riding through the Epcot Icon and learning about the history of communication, at least for now. Still don't know if that refurb is still going to happen. And our fourth matchup of round 2, last year's champion Splash Mountain versus Soarin' Around the World. Now this is going to be I'm not going to lie, this is going to be a tough matchup. Because you have last year's champ against perhaps the most popular ride at Epcot. And one people like one people like the other. But many people like both. So this one's going to be an interesting one. I'm going to be honest with you. I'll be surprised either way. But remember, you can vote in the comments. And if you're also a member of the Disney Vlog Squad or content creators groups on Facebook, you can vote there. And voting ends Thursday. And remember, if there's ever a tie, I am the tiebreaker. So anyway, that's this week's show. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions on how to do Disney for people with disabilities, and I'll make sure it gets into a future episode. Now for this week's shout-outs, make sure you join my friend Julie's Facebook group, Dream to Stream, where she does some great live streams at the parks. She tries to do them as much as she can with her busy work schedule at Hollywood Studios. So if you're part of her group, if you see one of her streams, I promise you'll want to come back again and again. Also, make sure you check out Brian and Amanda. They do amazing live streams from the parks each and every week. If you're looking to plan your next Disney vacation and you have someone in your family with disabilities, I highly recommend our favorite travel agent, Kim Colean. She plans travel. That's Kolean. She will help you. I contact her and she will help you plan your next Disney vacation. And that will benefit all your special needs. Also, make sure you check out Nate, a.k.a. Paging Mr. Morrow. He does amazing vlogs from the parks and everywhere else. And as always, for the latest attraction news, make sure you check out my good friends over at Attractions Magazine. And if you have not yet subscribed here yet to the Big John Network, what in the Walt Disney World are you waiting for? And tap the bell for notifications so that you never miss a second of the fun. And until next time, have a zippity-doo-dah day.